In a world so crazy, it's hard to be careful. And with that being said, before we get started with this video, man, I just want to say prayers and condolences to the family of Tasia Fortune. And I really need my only grown folk fam to hit that like button, subscribe, get this video into the algorithm, because more people need to be aware of this and more people need to see this to understand what's happening in the world. It's not just one incident, there's many, and it seems as if things in the past that was supposed to be eradicated still exist in a lot of places. And you never know who becomes a victim in these circumstances, living in these areas and environments where these things still take place, man. Let's get into it, man. Only grown folks allowed.
Yeah, good morning to you, Robin. Tasia Fortune's death has alarmed a lot of people, sparking fears about racially motivated murders. Now, police haven't said exactly how she died, but this morning, her mother telling our team that she knows her daughter did not do this to herself.
This morning, growing demands for answers in Mississippi after a 29-year-old mother of four was found dead, hanging from a tree.
We're going to press this as far as we can press it until she gets justice.
Tasia Fortune's body was discovered last week behind a vacant house in Jackson. The family telling ABC News the circumstances surrounding her death do not add up.
Tasia loved living life. Like, there's no way that she took her own life.
The Jackson Police Department saying, quote, an active death investigation is underway. They have not named any suspects and declined to comment on local reports that they questioned the father of one of Fortune's children about the death. Court records show Terrence Anderson, who's behind bars on an unrelated weapons charge, lives on the same street block where Fortune's body was found.
No one's tried blaming Ted or anything like that. You know, we just want answers.
Meanwhile, concern growing in the community and among local leaders given Mississippi's troubling history with lynchings and racially motivated killings. In the last year, Mississippi police have responded to 2 other tree-hanging deaths. Both were ruled suicides. Fortune's family rallying around her young children as they navigate this tragic loss.
She was a good mom, you know. She loved her kids and she loved her family.
And even though Tasia's death has sparked conversation about racially motivated murders, her mother tells our team that she does not want her daughter's name associated with that. There is an autopsy that's pending and should determine whether there was foul play involved in her death. Right now, though, police are urging anyone with information about how this young mother died to step forward. Rebecca.
Yes,
Yeah, good morning.
Now, Jackson, Mississippi has been violent for a very long time. Not only is this Jackson where this happened, but most importantly, this is Mississippi, bruh. I'm also not going to sit here and just directly insinuate 100% that this is racially motivated. But when we look at the details, the way they being presented, bruh, you can't really sit there and tell us what to think this is or what to speculate this to be, when we know the history behind things like this and how many times this didn't happen and how many people it didn't happen to in these types of areas, segregation and everything, right? So not only to just mention that Jackson is violent, I have to be specific and say this is Mississippi, bruh. And if anybody from Mississippi see the environmental status of Mississippi in a lot of areas, not just Jackson, but when you want to talk about Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, parts of Florida, and certain other parts of the South, we know what's going on. We're seeing what's going on. And the question I have for y'all, and I want y'all to answer these questions for me in the comments. In this world, who do we really have to protect us? Because it seems like nobody. We, people that look like you and me in life, sit at the top as the people that we watch the most, because we pin them as being the biggest threat, but it's not the only threat. So as quick as they can insinuate that some man that live on the same street as Tasia Fortune that's in jail could possibly be or possibly not be a suspect is bullshit. Because one thing I know about niggas, we don't take the time to do something to somebody. Tie them up, drag them somewhere, climb a tree, or whatever you may be having to do to make this happen. We just not going that far with it. So my personal opinion is I don't believe that. Now, the lady in the clip clearly explains to you how it's been many other situations like this that have occurred. And these situations ain't solved neither. So, from my personal opinion, nigga, I'm never going to Mississippi. I don't want to see Mississippi. I would advise people living in Mississippi to be careful. Keep your head on the swivel. Most importantly, definitely watch y'all kids. And I can't tell you enough to understand what's going on around you because y'all live there. Y'all understand wholeheartedly what's going on in Mississippi. And the reason I want y'all to make sure this video get out there is because more people need to be aware of what's going on in other places, because you can get so comfortable being where you at that you think the whole world moving at the same rhythm, and it's really not. What's going on where you at, it might be worse where somebody else, it might be worse where somebody else at. The situation is never the same. And where I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Ohio. This ain't something that's on the news all the time or so often. So it would be very strange for all of a sudden to come on the news up here that somebody dangling from a tree, bruh. But once again, we talking about the South. We talking about Mississippi. We talking about one of the places that was damn near last to get rid of slavery, bruh. It didn't legally go through till 2013. Slavery was legally ended in Mississippi in 1865 by the 13th Amendment. However, the state legislature voted against it then. Mississippi voted to ratify the amendment on March 16, 1995, but forgot to file the paperwork. The state finally completed the official filing on February 7th, 2013. What I want people that don't stay in the South to understand when you see this video is that a lot of prison systems in the Midwest, we don't have chain gangs. I've been to jail in Alabama. That experience for me, being locked up in a sundown town, and anybody that's from Alabama know anything about Coleman County, Cullman County. Look it up if you don't, and you'll understand what I'm saying. So my experience gave me an experience that I never experienced, was a culture shock to me. And I very much so felt like that little bit of time I was there, I felt like a slave. It's parts of Texas that ain't no different. It's parts of Texas that ain't no different. It's parts of Mississippi and Louisiana and Florida and Alabama and Arkansas that ain't no different. They still got chain gangs, bruh. In 2026, it's people living in that type of condition all because they committed a crime. So not only do they give up their freedom, they're actually 100% treated like so. So people up this way won't understand sometimes what's going on down there in the South and why we are how we are in the South, and how the experience for us up north is a lot of it different. But we got to talk about and shed light and awareness on these types of things, because we got to make sure people understand that this shit's still going on, bruh. I need y'all to understand that this shit's still going on, bruh. It ain't nobody exempt. It could happen to anybody. So don't brush it off because that ain't your family member, because that ain't your cousin, that ain't your sister, your brother, your auntie, your uncle, your mama, your dad. Nigga, it could be. So once again, prayers to Tasia Fortune and condolences to her family. And I hope they get justice the right way down in Mississippi, because nobody deserves to be a victim to violence. I don't care what the color is. But most importantly, I know damn well in 2026, should none of us be dangling from no motherfucking tree. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, man. Only grown folks allowed. The only place you can get celebrity news and grown folk conversation all in one pot of stew, man. I'll be back at y'all later on, man. I'm out of here.